Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blue Crew Podcast, the show hosted by Gen Z Democrats for Gen Z Democrats. Here we'll discuss current events, policy, and politics from the perspective of young voters. In an ever-changing political landscape, we believe it's important to facilitate open dialogue in order to promote national unity. Stick around for the newest episode of The Blue Crew.
Welcome, everyone, to our newest episode of the MDP Podcast. Today, we are going over a Split the Room game. I have sent a bunch of questions out to our Blue Crew members, and they are going to answer it, and I have compiled all of their answers onto this document. First, we're going to start on some more fun questions, and we're going to get into policy questions around halfway through, and the policy questions, I tried to have them start off pretty easy and then move into more controversial split the room type ideas. So our first question is, aliens exist and have visited Earth. So on the right, you're going to see strongly agree. And on the left, you're going to see strongly disagree. And the further you are to one side, the stronger you feel about this. Okay.
This is fun.
So I will send you guys across. So we have a lot of conspiracy in this room, apparently. I was like shocked that I was the only one on the left side.
Okay, I wanted to put the left, but I felt like everybody was gonna put the right, so I just put the right too.
Well,
I just
I
wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know if like aliens. I think aliens exist in the sense that like there's life on other planets, but I don't know if they visited Earth. Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
believable that is.
Same way, but at the same time, I feel like if they like were advanced enough to find us, like we wouldn't know. Like either they like blend in with us, or just like drop down and like take a sample and leave. But I don't know. But I feel like we would have detected them somehow.
Isaac and Cassidy, you guys were very convinced, so convince us.
I think like pretty much the same as like Vanch's reasoning. Like I feel like if they're advanced enough, like the general populace definitely like doesn't know. I feel like the government does, and they're keeping it from us.
I feel like if Donald Trump knew, not to get political right off the bat, but sometimes I feel like if Donald Trump knew, he would just be like, I feel like he would say it.
Are they gonna tell him
Or-
though? Are they gonna tell him?
Oh, you think they're keeping it from the president? I don't know. That's a good question.
I just wanted to pop in here, and there's only almost every single question we had one person on either side of. So
Oh, good.
there was a lot of disagreement. I was surprised. I thought we were gonna have a lot of like agreement
Okay,
here.
but Will, you don't believe in aliens like at all?
No, I believe they exist. There's just no way they
okay.
visited Earth. No, I'm a
Okay.
firm alien exister believer, but I don't think we were like near them at all.
Have you ever heard of the Phoenix Lights?
No. Oh, like I feel like there's so many things like that. I don't know
I
what's
know.
specifically.
Still.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. This was just really funny. I got sent this, I think it was Isaac, and this was just so specific that I
I
had
know
to
what
include it.
I know what
It was-
Vanch rated on this one. Vanch loves Reese's.
I'm gonna send you guys across. And Isaac
Yeah.
just
Yes,
really
so
wanted to
high.
share how much he did not like Reese's candy and cereal.
Sorry, you want me to defend my stance?
Please.
I think they're gross and yucky, and they taste bad.
You don't like
And
the peanut butter or the chocolate?
I feel like peanut butter should never be a candy because peanut butter, that's the poor man's protein. I grew up putting that on everything, and I think it like made me sick of it. Like if I like want like
Makes
candy or cereal, I'm gonna get like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or like Starburst or something good, you know?
Starburst?
So you just don't like
cereal?
peanut butter.
Okay, never mind. I don't like peanut butter or chocolate, so that's why I
Exactly.
said no.
I don't like the
Yeah, I don't like
cereal.
it in
I feel like
general.
this
Yeah, I'm not like huge on the cereal, but like the candy.
that was a curveball. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just think peanut butter and chocolate go well together. and like no other candy really has that duo. But like
Mhm.
I don't know, it just
agree.
hits.
I agree.
All right,
Like the ice cream too, the Reese's ice cream. So
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I've never
Yeah, it's
had
so
the Reese's
good.
ice cream.
Oh, I love the Reese's ice cream. I ate like a whole tub not that long ago.
It's
All right, thus concludes Isaac's hit piece on Reese's candy and cereal. All right, we will move on. Um, so all right, I think this is gonna this is pancakes are better than waffles. So this we get like a very big split right down the
Okay.
middle. The Blue Crew is divided on this.
The way me and Isaac are on the same side again.
I know you guys are. It's always like all the way one way. You guys are all or nothing. It's powerful.
They're radical.
The radical on the food issues.
I think this was the same. I mean, they're made of the same batter. They're
Oh, wow.
practically
That's crazy.
the same.
That's crazy.
I feel like it's easier to burn a waffle than it is to burn a pancake.
that is
No,
so.
I
Oh my
think
God,
it's
that
the
is so
other way
untrue.
around.
That's true.
Waffles?
It's like a waffle press, because like it's
There's-
just a press, and then it tells you when it's done. But pancakes, there's no like telling you when you have to flip it.
You flip
If
it
you
when
let
the
a
bubbles
waffle-
start forming.
If you
I
let
get
a
it, but like
waffle
waffles,
sit,
you don't even have to think about it.
if you let a waffle sit in zero for 5 minutes, it's not even a waffle anymore. It's just like mush. Pancakes
you
actually
just,
like
Yeah.
sit there-
cold.
No,
I don't
what?
know.
It's
I
so
used to-
easy, guys.
Pancakes are
Guys,
fluffy.
you make the batter. You pour it into the machine, and you're good. Like I'm not sitting there watching it, flipping when the bubbles go. I don't know. It's so much easier.
Yeah, I
But they
used to be
taste better.
a big pancake fan, but like pancakes, like waffles absorb the syrup into the little
Mm.
squares, and then each bite is just
Hmm.
beautiful.
I
Pancakes.
want to share two things. Or what were we gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say pancakes don't
Okay,
compare.
so sometimes this for both pancakes and waffles, specifically waffles, I like to put ice cream between two waffles sometimes and make it like an ice cream sandwich. That's elite. And then
I've actually
for
never even
both
thought about
waffles
that.
and pancakes,
sound
oh, it's fantastic. And then I'll put peanut butter on either of them.
Oh,
You're
shit.
I
crazy.
love
Isaac.
You're
Does
nuts.
not sound
Great.
good.
and syrup on it. So like I'll fill the holes with the peanut butter and then I'll put syrup on it and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That sounds good.
No, pancakes also like if you guys ever like stack pancakes, the strategy is to put the syrup on the like in between each stack, and then you just eat them all like it's the best.
Yeah.
But waffles are still better.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
I thought we had reformed on for a second, but no.
I just was like reminiscing.
Reminiscing of the pancakes. Okay, our next question is, I would rather gain the ability to fly, or, oh, guys, I can't read. But anyway, I'd rather gain the ability to fly than the ability to turn invisible. This one was not split at all. We had some strong invisibility lovers, and then Johanna really wants to fly.
No, I
This
feel
is
like
where
it'd be cool to
Johanna and
fly.
Isaac
I
separate.
know. Wow, Isaac.
So sad. Have you thought about the dangers that are posed to you?
That's what I was thinking.
Flying? You could get so many
Dangers?
bumps in your mouth, probably.
Like
There's also some
wind.
dangers about being invisible, just walking around though. You know, like people
No,
could like
I
hit
mean-
you.
Not really if you're invisible.
Oh yeah.
No one can
People
Wait,
could
see
hit
when-
you with
Like
a
dodge
car.
'em.
Wait, one
Wait,
time
would
my dad ruined invisibility for me because he told me, this is when I was a kid, when you're invisible, the light will just pass through you, so it doesn't reflect off of your eyes, so you would be blind.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
wouldn't be able
that
to see
before.
anything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
But
but I'd still rather be
That's-
invisible. But just
That's
pretend.
Wait, so
misinformation.
what dangers is there with flying?
Hit a goose.
like birds.
Like-
Okay, but like you can well, nah.
Trees.
Just like
It'll be
wind
fine.
and wind
It'll
and
be
rain
fine.
and like
It'll be
You know
fine.
what?
You just
It
gotta be
depends.
what are you gonna
scared.
do? What are you gonna do? Just go on a joyride?
It depends how
Mhm.
fast you
Yes.
can fly. Because if you can fly like hypersonic, that'd be pretty cool. But
Oh,
if
yeah.
Yeah.
you're going at walking pace, that's kind of lame.
Oh
That's
yeah.
Just like hovering.
Yeah, just like walking around in the air.
Well, I thought about
You could,
like, let's say I wanted to fly, I would want to obviously go to like another country or like travel somewhere, but I'm like, well, that might be like I might as well just take a plane. Like at that point, you know what I mean?
Like
No
at
one's
that
Yeah, why
giving you
would you expend all
food.
that energy?
No one's
Yeah.
like opening a pop for you, you know? Like you'd have to do the whole thing yourself. And then too, I was like, what if I get cold? Like what if it's like an 8-hour flight and I'm just like in the air by myself for 8 hours? Like that would suck.
Also, like the dreams you have where you're flying, they are scary.
No, they're fun.
Mine are
Yeah,
all scary.
I feel pretty free.
Mm-hmm.
But like invisibility,
You're on
you
top.
just,
You're
like,
basically
rob
on
a
top of the
bank.
world. Mm,
Mm.
I don't like that.
All right, so
Would you
you're
change your
sticking
answer?
to your guns about flying.
Yeah,
flying
I'm
to
gonna stick to it.
But what about all the stuff you could like? You could rob banks if you were invisible.
What?
Rob banks?
What?
I mean, like,
Why would you go to crime? No, dude. You
That's
could
the
sneak
thing,
into like
like,
concerts or
that's
That's
something.
what I said.
What?
Why
Oh
would you
my
go
to
God.
concerts?
I would.
that's also a crime. Going to a concert and not paying. That's
Yeah,
just
but
a
I'm not
crime.
like, yeah, that actually is
That-
also
it's
a
a
crime. That's my
victimless
bad.
crime.
Yeah.
The invisibility is like the illegal man's superpower, and flying is just like
I'd
the
be
fun.
like I'd be like
Flying is
Batman or
fun.
something. If I
It would
was
be memorable,
invisible.
like live, not like stealing stuff or whatever.
Yeah, because even if you could fly, like you can't really. You still have to like know how to fight people. Like if you're like fighting
What?
crime, and you can only fly, like just because you can
No,
fly doesn't mean you
you
can do.
just pick them up and then you drop them.
That's true.
Yo,
That's a
Hana's
good
gonna
idea.
fly in and stop the rest of us from robbing people.
Yeah.
As
That's
Well, she
exactly what I'm
can't because she
gonna do.
can't see us.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Our next question is dogs are better pets than cats. And again, now Vanch and I are agree, Johanna's in the middle, and the rest of you guys are disagree. Or disagree as well. This feels like the tension between us now. There's a big dog versus cat rivalry going on.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if I have a pet, I don't want to like have a second child, or I don't know why I just act like I have a first child. I don't want to have, I don't like want to have a child. Okay, I want someone that it's like a companion. It's a companion. So if you have a cat, like it comes and goes. Maybe it'll sleep next to you sometimes. It goes to the bathroom by itself.
A companion if it does not care about you at all. That feels just like
Cats care about you. I had a cat that cared about me.
Doesn't care.
A cat
They
is
care.
like if the food is still coming, the cat is pretty indifferent. I feel.
Dogs are just like the most adorable, like innocent, wholesome beings ever. Like they just know happiness and like love. That's all they know. Like they just like will cuddle with you and like do some fun things and just like let you pet them, whatever. They're great with kids. Kids can like pet them however they want pretty much. They're pretty tame, easy to train. Also they keep you active. Like
That's
dogs, you
true.
can just like play outside with them, go on walks with them.
He brought
I
Just,
used
like,
to bring my-
I feel like dogs are just a lot more personable. Like you see their personality a lot more. They're very like whatever.
That's true.
I also have only owned dogs and not cats, but
Have you ever?
I do like cats a lot though.
It'll all change.
I know I do like cats a lot, especially like with the way they purr. But
Mhm.
my dog is like a lap dog. He always like trying to cuddle. But then you also have so much variety. Like you can get a huge dog. It's like will defend you. Also,
No, I don't want
dogs have
that.
jobs. Dogs literally have jobs. They're just so cool. Like you have like police dogs and all that. They just are so like
Oh,
out of animals, they're just elite. And man's best friend, all that stuff.
Do you guys ever hear
Dang.
the study that like proved that cat people were way more likely to cheat than dog people? It's like a
What?
I'm like, I don't know. It's just like a study I saw, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
That is so.
Interesting.
How did they get that data?
Yeah, honestly.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's probably like a self-reporting thing. Like, are you a cat person? Have you cheated? Like
I'll
that's
take-
that's correlation without causation.
Yeah,
what's the
I
correlation?
think.
that's a fallacy.
Maybe people who are cheated like and
Are
like
more
don't
likely
have
to buy
an active
cats.
life, so they get a cat. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to find a correlation.
That's crazy.
That's a
They're like them people who cheated are more likely to be out a lot. and so a cat is more suitable to
Exactly.
their needs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're just connecting dots that are so far apart.
No, I buy it. As a dog owner, I approve this message.
Mm-mm.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, I do like dogs, but I really don't like small dogs.
I
Mm,
love Chihuahuas.
that's
I love small dogs.
small
I was
dogs are
gonna go. I was gonna go like all the way like to the disagree, but then I remembered that I love like really old Chihuahuas.
You don't
That's
like
like
big
the
dogs?
worst dog.
They're so
No,
fun.
it defeats the purpose of a dog.
Small dogs are wonderful. You
They
need
need
another
another
small
cuter.
dog.
I don't know. I just feel like for me, like when I think of a dog, if I want a dog, I'd want the dog to like not like protect me, but like just I don't know, just
Yeah.
be big enough to
Mm.
like do
But see,
something
like
or
cats
like
can't
I
do
don't
that at
know.
all.
Yeah.
But
Like
then I don't
as a,
expect that from a cat. I expect my dog to like fight for me.
so I'm saying
I don't know.
you can like expect your dog to lock down the house. You don't need a firearm. You just got a huge like German
He's got a
Shepherd. Like
big,
no one's
yeah,
pressing you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. So when you have a small dog, I'm like, I could
And cats can't even
beat
bark.
the
They can't even small dogs. They're kind of like a little alarm. Someone's there. They're just like yapping. Cat's not gonna do anything.
I feel like
You
6
can't
I
believe
am gonna
big
push
one.
us a little bit onward because we do have a
Okay, yeah,
couple
go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. This is our beginning of the policy section. The US should invest more in public transport and high-speed
There's
rail.
only one right answer. There's only one
Yeah.
right
And
answer.
it's the only answer that anyone chose.
That
This
should
is
have
the
been more.
only
I'm
Right,
not
come
gonna
on.
lie.
this is the only question where we were universally in unanimous support.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a little difference. Some people were more strong than others.
Mm-hmm.
I probably am more strong than I said I was. I don't know why I'm like only that far up, but I don't know. I just think there's some like practical issues that they have to sort out first, and like the plans of how they want to do it.
But I
Like
think
right
that
now, only
comes,
like the only thing, yeah, like, it'll come. I'm being
yeah, that comes
nitpicky,
with
but
investment. You're not just investing in it, you're investing in the education and the like the ways to implement it. So
Investing in jobs too.
It's true.
yeah.
American jobs. Yeah. We don't have to talk about this one too much because there was such like unanimous agreement. I was agreeing with Bunch. Like one of the reason I didn't push mine all the way to the right was because like I do think that there's like it's gonna take some time. Like it's not necessarily a right now thing that not the most pressing issue, especially given like American car culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just my thoughts behind it.
Okay, I get that.
Okay.
my thoughts were well the first place I thought about was Germany because they have like really good public transportation, but our country looks a lot different than Germany. You know, like it's a much smaller, older thing going on. Like a lot of people walk. If they're not taking the bus, they're walking. And you can't go like I can't go walk to the store to the grocery store right now. So it'd have to be a lot different than like other places that have great public transportation. So we'd really have to like think about like what would make it great.
honestly, like
I was just
experiencing
thinking of,
Ann Arbor. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
But Ann Arbor like has like decent investment into public transportation. Actually, pretty good for like like a city in Michigan. Like I haven't seen that much crazy public transportation, but there's a lot of like buses. Like there's campus buses and the city buses, and then other like city to city transport. And it's just it's nice. And I think like seeing that it makes me want it to be more widespread.
Yeah, and one thing I will point out is this has been a conversation over in my town of Chesterfield is a lot of the bus stops because people go all the way down Gratiot all the way up over here to, you know, go to work and do school, whatever other things. And sometimes when it's raining, when it's snowy, when it's cold, there isn't even a bench. Like a lot of these bus stops don't even have a place to sit. So like to provide like at least, you know, a little trash, a little bench, some sort of cover from the rain, you know what I mean? That would automatically be a great investment just because it's just those basic things. How do you expect, they're not going to wait out in the rain. How do you expect someone to, trot through the snow, trot through the ice? You'd at least want somewhere where you could get cover from the elements. I think that's very important. And just a place to sit. They just have like a sign up there and they're just like standing around the sign, like nice little chair out there or something.
For me in my hometown, we didn't have like any public transportation, but I came to like Raleigh and there's like so many buses here. Like there's like the Go Raleigh bus, like there's this state bus, and there's like you can always see buses around, and I just feel like it's so much more convenient and helpful for anybody. Like for example, like if you don't want to take an Uber, you can just take public transportation, or even for people that have like disabilities and stuff, they're also like very accessible and stuff. So I think the public transportation is a 100% must.
Amazing. All right, moving on. Now, I'm gonna be so honest. I really wish we had gone just a little bit faster because I really wanted Zach to explain his opinion on women's products should be free. And Zach
Oh
was
no.
so hard. No, it was such a low answer that I wonder if it was a misclick and he meant to do 10. But I mean, maybe he's just like really against things. I don't know.
Interesting. Hot take for real.
I don't
You'll
know.
never
Mitch, you
know.
have to like go talk to him about this. We need
I'm
So-
gonna ask him.
Will, why is yours not all the way?
Here's the thing. My thing is just like I think it's a very thing like I think they should be free. I just don't know who should make them free exactly. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how it would work. Like I definitely think they should be like universities should put them in bathrooms and stuff like that. I just don't like the things should be free. Like I don't think we should like have convenience stores just like tossing them away necessarily. But I do think they should be far more accessible and everyone who needs them, you know?
Interesting.
They should either be free or cost like
Exactly.
25 cents.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking of
I don't
America.
think they should cost anything.
We
Yeah,
bottled
I retract that. I agree with that.
Go ahead.
we bottled water in America. Like I feel like
Yeah.
nothing
That
is
was
gonna
gonna
be
be that was gonna be my question too. That's crazy. Sorry, but yeah. In
It
my
should-
statement or whatever.
Yeah, it should all be free, but like the feasibility
Yeah.
of making it free, I guess, is what
Yeah.
pushed me to like a little bit further into the middle. We don't have Zach here to question, so I guess
Yeah.
we'll move on to the next one because we are in. Okay, we are. All right. It is important that the labor movement also prioritizes environmental justice. This was a really good question, and we have a little bit more mixed bag here. Only Isaac disagrees, but the rest of us are kind of spread across. So, what are some opinions here?
I think that because I know this was my question. I think that the labor movement shouldn't necessarily like prioritize environmental justice, but it should definitely be a goal. Because if the planet is gone, no one can go to work. And I think that there are a lot of like shared values within both of the movements, like justice, health, basic safety, all that good stuff. I lost my train of thought, but I do agree with the statement to an extent. I think about like the demographic of people in the labor movement who like may not necessarily be super excited about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that. I just think that it's like for the labor movement itself, like obviously there's a lot of issues that stem from that hurt the environment that we want to address. But like sometimes like if you look at auto workers, they're working for an industry that's inherently bad for the environment. And obviously it would be nice if they were able to push for environmental justice, but they already have a lot that they need to get accomplished. And I mean, I think just having other groups like I mean, I know I kind of fall to the right on this, but like having other groups just pushing for environmental justice as well, because the labor movement has its goals of like wages and things like that, and just like adding more stuff on. makes it hard to negotiate with the company.
Exactly.
Yeah, mine should be more to the left, but I agree with everything I stated.
Yeah, I think
Not that
this
much.
is one of the examples of the interesting cross section in like Democrats being the big party, like the big tent party, where you kind of have where not everyone is gonna agree on everything. I was also following that. I ended up being to the right just because like I don't know. I do think the UAW and stuff should like engage in being part of like EVs and stuff like that, electric vehicles, and pushing themselves forward. Just because I honestly think that it will help them in the long run. Like the chips are the way of the future. It's not going to be coal miners, but the coal miners union, I think, is probably going to want to mine coal, and I don't think we should force them to stop. But people who aren't directly unions that aren't directly in that area of work, I think they should be looking to the future. Any other comments on this? All right, then we will move on. Now, this is one of the first policy questions where I saw a little bit more disagreement. So the question is, America should ban automatic and semi-automatic weapons. Um, so we are pretty fairly split. We have Zach, Isaac Cassidy are slightly disagreeing. I am slightly agreeing, and we have Vaughn and Johanna strongly agreeing. I tossed in the semi-automatic component because I think a lot of us would agree with banning like full automatic weapons. So I don't know. This is just a more interesting approach I see, in my opinion.
I
I
think
kind of don't think we should ban semi-automatic weapons. I don't know. I mean, I probably only just read automatic, but I think we all agree like automatic weapons, AR-15s are definitely not good. Like they are weapons of mass destruction, pretty much. But I think for semi-automatic weapons, just like a lot more heavy regulation. I think it's just like it's very easy to get one, and it's like in a lot of states the laws are kind of regressing on concealed carry and licenses required for that. And I do support the idea of having like the right to defend yourself with something like a pistol, because
Hmm.
we can't take away all guns, but at the same time, I just think heavy regulations, age limits, background checks, like felt like obviously red flag laws, looking at like everyone. I just think you should like greatly expand the I guess the ATF because they don't really have a lot of power right now.
Hmm. I also agree. I also think that like automatic for sure, but semi-automatic, I think with like a lot of like extra like rules and stuff like that, then like it could definitely be made to work, but I don't think they're that needed.
Isaac Cassidy, thoughts?
I was
I
gonna say, most of my family like hunting. Me and my boyfriend like
Mm.
hunting, and some of those guns and other are, semi-automatic, and I don't know. I feel like banning them is it's a stretch. I definitely agree that we should put more like regulation and stuff on it, you know what I mean? And then too, like I would think like, you know what I mean, when you buy something like that, like it's for, let's say, hunting. That's the purpose of it, and it should be very clear that that weapon is for that purpose, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like you know what I mean? If you're buying this like crazy weapon and you want to go hunt elk for it, like I think you're already required to take like a class for like hunting classes before you get the license to
Hmm.
do it. But like to have like even specific classes for those weapons, like if you want some crazy ass weapon, you're gonna have to take a crazy weapon class. You know what I mean? Like just having more like education and like
Hmm.
regulations like that around it, so people really understand what they're getting into when they buy that crazy, you know,
I
gun.
get that, but there's like other forms of hunting in that way too, you know? But I mean more complex, but like and harder, but still.
I just feel like I don't know if even like we even need that to be in circulation. Like I get that people want to have their fun with hunting, but to an
Hmm.
extent, like you manufacture guns to get the job done when it comes to hunting, and you like other than that, you don't need like a super automatic whatever like whatever rounds per second crazy gun because
Yeah.
I mean everyone wants to have fun, like the freedom to have fun in their own backyard, but like the cost of that bad people get their hands on it and kill like 30 in a minute. So I don't know. I just
Hmm.
think the trade off isn't worth it.
Yeah,
I know that
definitely.
is definitely what's scary about it is like, obviously it's the best to have like a safe and like, to store them properly. It is scary when you think about like, let's say somebody's grandpa has a collection of X amount of hunting guns and like you said, if the wrong person gets in there, you know, it can be very dangerous. It is scary to think about.
Yeah.
I
Always think about it
remember
that way.
I just remember being shocked to find out, and I don't know why Democrats don't run around with this statistic constantly, that the number one cause of death for children in America is guns, is firearms. And it's just like, how the hell are we not talking about this always? Like, that is such,
Hmm.
it's so easy to think of like, oh, like it only happens a couple of times. School shootings are only like a little bit, and school shootings are not a majority of that, obviously. But um, it's just crazy to think about all of the deaths from firearms and stuff like that. And that's probably what makes me less lenient on it. And when you see restrictions being rolled back, like the bump stock stuff from the Supreme Court, all the all the gun rights being struck down, it also feels like so hopeless to try and get anything passed because the Supreme Court is just gonna give so much power to that Second Amendment. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's just where I stand on it.
Yeah, just to add one last thing. I like hear, I'm not sure the accuracy of this, but I've seen stuff that we like have the technology to like say track individual bullets or like register like do very specific tracking methods with guns and stuff like that. But like the lobby is so strong. And if you look at it, like Sandy Hook was or Columbine was like 2005, 2000 like whatever, 20 something years ago. And there hasn't been major gun legislation, like federal gun legislation passed, I don't think, like a major thing, major regulation. And it's just crazy to see that stuff is going backwards and it's not like we're making any progress sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, like
So
nothing has
kind of hurts to
changed.
see that. Mhm.
Michigan
Hmm.
passed a safe storage bill, like making sure weapons and ammo are stored separately. And I think they passed something. It wasn't big, but Biden got something through Congress, which was just like anything is good, you know?
Yeah, gotta
Uh,
take what you can get.
yes. Okay, we will move on. America is the greatest country in the world. And again, we have a pretty split crowd. Cassidy,
Isaac.
I and Zach. Oh yeah, Johanna and Isaac are back on their extreme and all the way to the left, strong disagree. Bonch is over there too. Alrighty, what are our thoughts here?
What makes it
Like
great is the first
whenever I
question.
like think about this question, the greatest country in the world, I always just think that like what, you can't say anything is the greatest country in the world. Like, but I
Right.
mean, I guess, but like, unless like some country was super just like insane at everything, but there's always gonna be issues with every country, and I
Hmm.
I always will obviously look for the flaws in America, and like I think throughout,
Hmm.
if I like U.S. history a lot, and a lot of times we are the bad guys. Um, but also like it's not like this country's horrible. Like my parents came here and got like an opportunity to whatever, make a life for themselves, which is I'll always
Hmm.
appreciate. But just like the question, like the greatest country in the world, like I don't know what that means. Like I couldn't even imagine a reality where we could call it the greatest country in the world. It would just be like everything would have to be perfect, which is like a utopia. Like it just I don't know, the
Hmm.
greatest country. And it's just like if you're calling it the greatest country, I feel like a lot of times like the whole Republicans just the nationalism thing, it's like, okay, I love America too, but I'm just trying to push it to be better. So I don't know what you're gaining by saying, "Oh, we're great. If you don't like it, get out." Like that's not being a patriot. I don't know. I never know what to make of like the greatest country ever.
I definitely agree with that. I also feel like I'm kind of like pessimistic, so like I kind of only like see the bad, if that makes sense. Like the things that we haven't done, the things that we should have done. For example, like back to school shootings and stuff like that. Done something about that. So I feel like that's the reason that like we're not the greatest. Like we need a lot of fix and a lot of change.
Also, just like being the most influential country, like we have like so much influence in every other country that it's like we meddle with everyone else so much. It's hard to say that we're the greatest. Just like I don't know. It's like we're such a superpower that no matter what, we're gonna do some bad stuff just because we're just like the world police or whatever. I don't know.
Cassidy,
Strongest maybe. I don't know.
Cassidy, you and I, Zach's not here. You and I are alone over here. What are your thoughts?
I was gonna say, I think like compared to how I look at it, I think you guys are looking at it very literally. And like when I read that statement, I don't see it like super literally. To me, what that means is like you obviously have heard like the American dream. Oh, like you can come to America, anything can happen in America. You can make your wildest dreams come true. And to me, that's what that kind of correlates with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say like, oh, this is the greatest country, this is the best of the best. It's more so like, to me, that means you have the opportunity to make the best, make what you want to see. You know what I mean? It's more so of like this optimistic, like, I could do what I dream. I could do you know what I mean? It's just like this freedom feeling, basically. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love America.
I also look at it like that. Like this statement, America is the greatest country in the world. It's very distinctly not America is the best country in the world. It's great as in like, I don't know. America is great. It's very powerful. Like economically, it's the only place where you have like such a strong middle class. Like it invented the middle class just even as a concept. And then like you have your whole American dream. It's a country built on immigrants. It is the world's longest democracy, has all of these like nuances of politics and growth and kind of like, so I don't know. It just seems like the American story seems like so great and so powerful. Also, I think of some moments where it's just like after World War II, it was very like, and of course you have like McCarthyism and stuff, and you have that kind of like stain on American legacy, and you have a bunch of stains on American legacy. But like after World War II, the fact that we didn't just take it over, I don't know, we're a very kind of idealistic country and a very individualized country, which kind of ruins things sometimes and it brings a lot of negative cultural things, but it also we're very idealistic in how we choose to message ourselves. So when we're like we believe in freedom, we get Britain and France to decolonize and stuff like that after World War II. And I don't know, it just seems like the world order we established has certainly it could only have been established by the US, and it was also probably the best world order that you can reasonably have. And obviously it's like not good or perfect, but just like of all the countries leading something, unless it's like Sweden, but Sweden doesn't really like have the power to exert influence and make sure like human rights are protected around the world. I don't know. That's just it's not the best, but it is like the greatest if you're using that verb kind of amorphously.
I think if the statement
cut.
said America, well, sorry, let me say, I feel like if the statement said America's great, I feel like mine would have been different. I just feel like the way that it was stated, like the vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You talk about wait, sorry, you talk about like the way we did things after World War II and like set the world order, but also like we did a lot of evil things like during the Cold War in like South America, across the Middle East, even across the Middle East now, like for the past 20 years. I just feel like when you were the world superpower, like we kind of took over that like how Britain was until their empire like kind of fell. We like have people everywhere, like influence everywhere, and we kind of do a lot of meddling too in other countries. So I don't know, in a lot of other countries' eyes, they kind of like we're kind of evil to them because we've done a lot of bad stuff in their history. And a lot of it is for the interest of corporations, which kind of sucks. Because I would love to say that we always care about human rights and democracy, which for the most part we do, but then sometimes it is about the money. Um, so I don't know. I think sometimes just like I could agree with the statement, but like whenever it's used in a political sense, it's always used to like just backtrack the argument and not like get anywhere.
Yeah, I think the vibes around this like this statement is very like conservative, very like America's the greatest country, la la la, la, nothing bad ever happens. But like, I don't
That's the vibes, 100%
Yeah.
that I got.
know. But like
Sorry.
no, you good. For me, it's just like it's just kind of more of like a statement about like, and also it's not like America is a good country or America is the best country. It's just like out of everyone else who I'm looking at, America is greater than all of them. And like, and you're saying America has done bad stuff, and for sure, Vance, like I definitely agree with that point. But I'm just like, if I were in hindsight, like right now, and I were looking back, and I'm like, who would I have established the world order that's not America? I really wouldn't have a good answer. And like also I'm a big internationalist guy, so it doesn't really bother me that America is around the world a lot. Like I don't know, like 1 in 5 soldiers in Japan is American. But like that doesn't bother me because Japan wants us there, you know? We're allies, and the reason we're allies is because we both have like the shared ideals of democracy and defense and globalism and like sharing of goods and ideas. So I don't know. That's just how I thought of it. And I definitely
Yeah,
understand the idea of it's bad, but that's just how I think of it.
yeah, I think I can agree that it is the greatest just because of like the power, the size, the influence, whatever. But I don't know if that's necessarily always a good thing.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. Anyone else have any comments before we move on? All right. We go from controversial idea to controversial policy. America should implement universal basic income. And again, actually, we really only have Zach strong disagree
Zach is
here,
not
and
here.
everyone else, Zach
Here.
again, coming in with the hard no. Everyone else is just kind of yeah. Isaac, strong supporter. Isaac, kick us off. How are we feeling?
I for this statement, I probably should have put myself into like more of like where you guys are at, but I was like, no, I'm gonna commit.
You were excited.
I was excited. Exactly. I don't know. I just think that people deserve to have money to buy things that they need to survive. And I feel like that shouldn't be like a super radical opinion to have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Agreed. Yeah. I have seen all sorts of studies saying that wherever universal basic income has been implemented, it's gone really well, and like people's happiness has improved and people's productivity has improved, and like people are able to do what they love more. It's honestly just very scary notion. It's very far left. So just the idea of having to, and also for America to implement it on a national level would just be so absurdly expensive. Like you'd have to do so much more with everything. It'd just be like an entire thing. So I think it's a great concept. I don't know if we're there to implement it yet though.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't see it ever happening or ever working out.
Was it Andrew Yang who ran on universal basic
Yeah.
income? Yeah.
Mhm.
I
He
mean, the
didn't go.
stimulus checks kind of like worked a little bit, but they're also like very inflationary.
Yeah. Very
I don't know.
Mhm.
It's all
inflationary.
economics. As long as it's like, I low-key agree with like most government programs, as long as they're funded by rich people.
Real.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. And
Someone quote
Will's
that.
right. It would be like crazy to actually implement this. Like even just thinking about the amount of money that would take to have this happen is way beyond my my
Zach
computation.
clearly agrees
Um,
with that sentiment.
the way I looked at yeah, I wish Zach was here. The way I looked at it was we have like welfare programs. I feel like it would just be like another way to like you would have to go through all the welfare programs and either like completely change them or like you'd have to do something. Because to me it would be like a welfare program. It would just be like a kind of another way to think about it, you know. And then what I've seen too is with certain like welfare programs, like let's say they give you like $1,000 a month or something, like, or I don't know, but like let's say like if you like a lot of times there's like a limit to, like let's say like you make like $1,001, then you're like out of the program. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to hit this
Mhm.
certain mark. And sometimes people are like, okay, well, if I should stay at this job making this amount of money because I can keep all these welfare benefits instead of actually looking for a better. I think this is more of my stance against certain welfare programs.
Well, I guess no, universal basic income would fix that because it's universal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
It's
then
That's what
not,
I
there's
would,
no
Mm.
like, yeah.
because there's no like, because like strict, oh, like you have to only make this amount. You have like, I feel like there's a lot of restrictions when it comes to those programs. So I'm thinking instead of doing it like that, if you just make it more universal and have not so many restrictions on it, it would actually drive people not to stay under their $1,000 so they could keep the benefits, that they would actually want to go out. Oh, I can get this job that gives me more money and I'm still going to have the same
all right.
benefits. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. With that, we will move on to what I believe is our last question. America should pay reparations to the descendants of slavery. Again, this I think has honestly lost traction. I think it was a big issue going in like the 2010s, like 2010s, early 2000s. So let's see where we fall. So we actually, Isaac, now alone on his extreme island, Johanna has abandoned him. The rest of us are
No.
gathered around, disagree pretty evenly. So Isaac, defend yourself.
You know me, I love giving people money
It's true.
for free.
Okay.
I think more people should have more money. And that's my stance.
That's his stance. That's his
Like,
stance.
that's
fair.
it.
That's it.
That's all that
I
needs to be
think-
said.
I think there's just like too black and white to now pay reparations after this long, after not paying it for that long. But
That would
I think
be
what they need to
kind of-
do is
yeah. That
I
makes
think they need
sense.
to they just need to like focus on stuff like institutionalized racism and like poverty and things that are affecting the communities right now instead of I just think that a check isn't always going to work. It's things that it's systematic issues that have come from slavery that you need to figure out, and then it'll be better, I guess. I don't know.
In my mind, there's
Yeah.
no way that like a descendant of slavery who's making 100,000 a year deserves a check more than like an Asian American immigrant who's making 30,000 a year. Like I just think if any money that we could dedicate to reparations, I just think should go straight into welfare. Like if we can afford to start up that program, I think just welfare programs need to be expanded for the people who need it right now.
I think that's a good idea, definitely.
Anyone
Yeah.
else have any thoughts? Okay, and with that, we are done. Thank you everyone so much for all of your feedback, all of your questions, all of your statements, and all of your talking. And we're done.
Thanks,
All
Will.
right. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys. I need to go make dinner right now.
Yeah.
So
Like,
goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and remember to stay updated by following us on all our socials. Until next time, this has been the Blue Crew Podcast.